just to like be real and tell people that people think that, oh, these influencers are making a lot of money and all.
Hmm.
Okay, great. I know there is a lot of money, but everyone should really know that your money never comes in time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our podcast. Today, we have with us an extremely special guest, Mr. Nikhil Kandhari. Now, Nikhil is a content creator, he's a fashion stylist, he's also been a music producer, and he's also the co founder of Snack Digital. This is a digital marketing agency that's worked with the likes of Amazon, H&M, Jaguar, and many others. He is also the recipient of Cosmopolitan India's Best Male Lifestyle Blogger of the Year award. Nikhil, it's fantastic to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely great. It feels good to be on something like this after a long time. I don't remember the last time I got on a Zoom call, actually, even though it's become the new normal. But I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, looking forward to it as well. And to kick things off, Nikhil, we actually wanted to sort of hit rewind in your journey. And as we understand it, you started blogging, I think, all the way back in 2016, if I'm not mistaken.
It was actually a little before 2016,
Yeah.
somewhere mid 2015, beginning of 2015.
Yeah.
Is because it all started actually when I was styling. So I
Yeah.
started my career in fashion with styling.
Hmm.
And while I was styling, I was always like had access to too many clothes around me. So it literally only just started as me wearing outfits and posting it. That's why even if you see now, I still do a lot of these OOTD things on my page.
Yeah.
And there's a series that I do OOTD with NKHL, which
Hmm.
there's a lot of people who post their pictures and I sometimes feature them on my stories. It's
Yeah.
just been a part of like the beginning. That's why I like to still keep it going. But that's literally how it started.
Okay. Okay.
When Instagram was all about just images.
Yeah.
That time of it.
For the transition to your videos and reels and stories and all of
Oh,
that.
now it's honestly too hard to keep up. I don't know how half the people who are literally killing it on reels are really keeping up, but I
Yeah.
don't think I can.
Yeah. Yeah. But Nikhil, like my first question to you then is you started in around the mid 2015s. And as I understand it, maybe I've gotten this wrong, but like even the entire concept, like the modern concept of an influencer, at least in India, I think, hadn't quite been established by then. So I don't know.
The
Yeah.
the term influencer didn't exist at that point.
Yeah.
Like no one was called an influencer. Like
Exactly.
anyone in the space that we're in right now was called a blogger.
Hmm.
Even they didn't use the terminology of content creator that often that then, even though we were still technically creating content. It was
Hmm.
you were a blogger because like you it just wasn't about having an Instagram page. Like everyone I know, there's a lot of my friends who started from back then.
Yeah.
We all at some point had a blog, like an
Yeah.
actual blog where we wrote on fashion, and it was fun at that time, like the viewership at that point used to be insane.
Yeah.
And eventually later I think I stopped my blog around 2018,
Got
is
it.
because no one cared about it anymore, like
Yeah.
no one was reading things. That's when, like, I think 2018 is when video content really started picking up.
Yeah.
And it was happening on stories. Then they came up with IGTV. I think IGTV was around that time as well, 2018ish. So
Yeah.
longer form videos, and now it's just like after the whole TikTok craze, it's about like shorter content.
Yeah.
So there's been literally like a lot of changes
Yeah. Yeah.
since like the beginning. It's crazy. I honestly can't keep up.
Yeah, man, it's absolutely dizzying. Although, like my follow up to that is like you said the term influencer didn't even really exist back then. So I don't know what was the segue into being just somebody who's blogging, I guess, for the love of it to suddenly being this person where brands are approaching you and there's this new concept. Like, what was that transition like? How weird was it?
So initially, I just feel that like when I just started in the beginning, it was like a shocker at that point for a brand to even come to you and be like, we want to send you a gift.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh wow. Like the first time someone sent me something, I was like, oh, this is insane. And that time it became exciting because we were like, okay, we're posting pictures for fun. We're getting free clothes and we get free products, and it's
Yeah.
just all like fun and games. It just picked up like that till the first time a brand asked me what my commercials were. And I was like, okay, wait. let's take this back, because technically I was doing this for fun.
Yeah.
I had a full styling career. I used to work 16-hour days. It was exhausting. I was doing this for fun.
Hmm.
And then slowly it picked up, and then it just became a thing. And then we had to create media kits, because like there were prizes for particular kind of deliverables came into the picture. All of those things happened. And then, yeah, then it is where it is now.
Yeah.
It's been quite a journey. It was fun. Brands work differently. Brands requirements were different, and then there was a lot of more subtle marketing. Now, because of the new norms and stuff, we can't even keep subtle marketing anymore because of like having the right tags. I don't know if I'm not sure if you guys have come across, like there's an entire
PSA guidelines.
guideline.
PSA.
So the entire guidelines are super crazy. So there's not going to be any more subtle advertising. People will know that if someone's getting paid to do this, and it is an advertisement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to differentiate like your own personal content with that.
Yeah. Definitely. Nikhil, we spoke about how you started, but let's imagine there's someone that wants to start today, and they come from a normal middle class family, and they can't afford to buy tons of clothes, and they can't afford to pay a photographer. What would your advice be to them?
Honestly, it was literally the same thing before, when I started. Not like I could afford buying too many clothes or going crazy. I used to literally, it's now if you see the like what's been trending on reels and stuff like that, people are trying to tell you how you can use that one shirt and wear it in so many ways. So it's about reusing your stuff, and it's not about like buying more anymore.
Yeah.
People have become like, people want a more sustainable lifestyle. People want to re-wear things, and it's all about that now. So if any person, it is like, even when I started, it was all about collaboration.
Okay.
There are many new up and coming photographers who also want work, so they will be more than happy to kind of collaborate with someone new as well. So it helps both. That's the actual kind of collaboration that really brings people together. Like, I collaborate with most photographers. I initially, my first 1-2 years, I don't think I really like paid for photography or anything like that. And nowadays with our phones, everyone is self-shooting. I'm like I said, like it's so hard to keep up, is because all these people are doing these crazy transitions and everything from their own phones. They're self-shooting it, they're self-editing it. It's that time is gone where you had to be dependent on someone else. You can literally do everything on your own. And even if like you're someone like me who's like trying to keep up, you just go on YouTube, you type one small thing, transition, and you'll get 500 million options on how to do it, which app to use. And now you don't even need to go to like a Premiere Pro or like any intense editing software. You have it all on your phone. Like, I've literally edited everything on my phone. I hate editing on the computer. Like, I bought like a laptop and I was like, okay, shit, I want to like, edit. I downloaded Adobe Premiere Pro, and I'm like, shit, this is going to happen. And then I never have opened the app.
Wow.
My subscription has failed. But I've never opened it. Even Lightroom, I edit my pictures all on the phone. I'm still a lover for images more than video content, if I have to be honest. But it's fun.
Yeah, I think if you're adding value, if your production is slightly less, it doesn't matter. But if you're adding value and your content is good, then I think it will work.
Yeah, that's all it's about. It's not about like quality anymore. Now people are in fact even going back to using vintage camera as effects.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? They want bad quality.
Yeah.
Like bad looking quality is like an aesthetic. Like now I can see your little blur and I'm like, oh, that's so like 90s. You know what I mean? Like that's how people are. Like the Gen Z is really like absolutely killing it. Everyone is super, like this entire wave of like these bunch of people who are like creating a lot of content on reels that I've been seeing lately. I think those guys are absolutely talented. I don't think I was even halfway there when like I started. I was probably like way more lost. At least these people now already know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's all about, like you say, for someone who's starting off now, it's about consistency. You just have to be consistent. I'm sure everyone's ideas are good, everyone's content is good, but you just have to be at it. You can't get upset that, oh, I'm not getting reach, I'm not getting that. I've been on the same followers for over a year now.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen because it's not about how many, like, people don't care. Even brands don't care anymore. Like with my agency, when we're working with brands, they don't care about how many million followers people have. They are also giving a shit about, oh, what kind of content the person is doing and what really the engagement is there. Because sometimes you see there are people with like a million followers and their reach is like what, like a 0.2%, 5%. To
Yeah.
like no one is reaching that 5% mark, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And you see these guys, they are like here with like 12 to 15% engagement rate. So it's literally reaching more people than the people with the higher number of followers.
That's true.
Yeah,
No, I
that's
think
why micro influencers are working way more.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
You spoke about consistency. Can you elaborate on that? Consistency, does it mean one has to post every day or follow a certain pattern and stick to it?
As in, it's all about trial and error. There are things that sometimes are, see, it's not just about, okay, like the content might be good, but it might be for a very small sector of people.
Mm.
Like it could be your content could be very niche as well, and that might disappoint you later on in life.
Yeah.
That it's not reaching out. But sometimes, like if you really want your growth to happen, you have to see what's also trending.
Yeah.
You can't just be at the fact that, oh, this is what I like doing and I'm going to continue doing it. It might not work.
Yeah.
Because maybe there is not too many people who want to see that kind of content. So you
Yeah.
need to kind of get out of the box, out of your own bubble a little bit to try and, mix your style with what's trending and keep it like a well blend. I'm not saying post every day, but if you're thinking that, you're posting a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example,
Yeah.
then try to post those. If you're posting 3 days a week, just make sure you're doing those 3 posts a week.
Yeah.
Don't go lesser than that. If you're doing a post every day, you do a post every day. Don't switch it up. If you're doing, say, a series, try it out. Try it for a month. See how it is working. If it's not working, switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe bring in some other ideas. Still keep doing that concept, but take inspiration. There are so many things. Once you hit that reels and you're just like scrolling and scrolling, you don't realize it's been 2 hours and you've just scrolled throughout.
Yeah.
It just happens. So that's why consistency is important. Obviously, I wouldn't say post once a week because that's not going to work. The whole idea of consistency is because Instagram will help you grow if you help Instagram grow. The whole idea of Instagram will only make money if there is content on the platform.
Yeah.
And more people are on the platform who will view the ads. So the whole sole ideology is that why you post often is because that helps Instagram to get more people on their platform.
Yeah.
So the more we are posting stuff, the more it's helping Instagram. So that's why in that way, the algorithm will see your pattern and help you grow on that front.
Right. Talking about the algorithm, would you like to highlight which are the most important engagement metrics on the platform for different, say, posts, for reels, for IGTV?
So it's nowadays, because like insights are available for everyone, so it's super easy to understand like what's really working for you. As in, say, it tells you a lot about your audience. It tells you about like what's your male female ratio. It tells you about what timing that your followers specifically are most engaging.
Yeah.
Or how many number of people are active from your following on which day at what particular time. So you can always see that, and you post according to those timelines, and everything's super crystal clear.
Yeah.
When you check the inside, and now they've even added insight to reels, which I thought would probably not happen, but it did happen. So you can see what's really working for you. So it's very easy to track your growth and engagement.
Yeah.
But is there any extra weightage that is given to a particular engagement metric? For example, say saves or shares are maybe given more weightage in terms of reels.
See, more than anything, I would say is save, yes, but whatever content you're creating has to be more shareable. Once Instagram sees that your content is being shared to many other people or is being saved by, say, a set number of people, it will then automatically see that and push it out. It's not just about like the likes and comments. It's also helps when like you are engaging back with your followers. There are a lot of people, like I try to reply to almost everyone who comments on my pictures on my videos.
Yeah.
That's something that's really important. So that way the algorithm catches that as well. But majorly, if you see, for the growth and to get more reach with your content, I think it's majorly like you said, like the saves and how shareable it is. How many people are direct messaging it, how many people are adding it to their stories. So all that helps, and then it picks up as a chain and it goes. Like you never know. Like reels is not like it picks up today. Like I posted a video like 2 weeks ago, and I have posted many videos after that. But a video from 2 weeks ago has gotten picked up now.
Oh,
because people were still liking it. It doesn't matter. The timeline doesn't matter here in this. Like when you're posting images on your feed on Instagram, it's different. It's going to be like work till that one particular those 24 hours it'll work for you, and then after that it's just gone somewhere. It's
Yeah.
lost
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
your feed. But with reels, it's like randomly I still have people like seeing videos from back in the days which had like 10 12k views and now at like 40 50k views. Like it just picks up, because what happens is once you go and see a video and like my video, which is going to say one of my videos gone viral, now you end up going and seeing my profile.
That's true. Yeah.
We're like, oh, I like this guy's video, he's cool or she's cool or whatever it is. You go and you check it out, you might like a video, then you might share that video, and then so it just becomes a chain. So even your other videos start getting more traction and reach. So I would say that don't be sad that few videos are not giving you the reach, is because that one video that'll actually get the reach will entirely change your game.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a domino effect almost.
Yeah, and the funny part is that it's not like the videos that I have made, which were professionally shot, don't really have too much reach. But the things that I've self-shot and look more real have got more reach.
Okay.
So going back to what we spoke earlier, it's like, how do new people want photographers? And I was like, you don't need it. Because even the platforms pushing out stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel it's really big for the entertainment sector. Instagram's really good. Like people who are creating like entertainment content, like comedians and people who are doing skits and like funny things. Like it's working a lot more for that front. It's really big for music right now. I think a lot of music artists who at some point would always be confused, like how do I grow? Like me, when I started music, I was so lost. I was like, there was only few ways that it was only SoundCloud where you could like blow up, or there was like Bandcamp. Where you're an artist, and now you can be at home and like you can get your song listed on Instagram by going to a platform like DistroKid, and you have to pay what 1,300 rupees a year. They will list your tracks on all selling platforms. Everything can be done sitting at home. Like if you're a new artist also, you put your song and like look at the guy Tesher, I think that's what his name is, who made that Jalebi track. Now he has a music video with Jason Derulo. Like how did he blow up? He blew up because of like reels and TikTok. That's exactly how it happened.
That's true.
It's definitely gotten easier, and like we mentioned earlier, because of COVID and everything, a lot of people are seeing influencers all the time, and they feel like it's a very easy job to do. "Arey, ye to main bhi kar sakta hu. This guy is just posting about food. This guy is just wearing clothes." But actually, it's not that easy. And suddenly, even niches have become very crowded. Say fashion, music, it's become very crowded. So, what can someone do to stand out and break through from this crowd?
It's about coming up. It's just about how being innovative. You know what I mean? When I started styling, for example, it was just that every single person around me was a stylist at that point. I was like, what am I doing? Like, did I pick a career by just like everyone's? It's always going to happen with any field at any point in life. You'd be like, if you're a student who does science, you're going to be like, shit, now everyone's doing science. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? You're just going to freak out. And content wise, like even I still struggle with it. I don't even know. Like I'm not really understanding what sort of content my audience really wants to see, but I try to push it. Unfortunately, I have a lot of other work, so it just is very difficult to keep up. But like if someone's trying it, it's not about having that niche. It's about like, okay, you could have a very generic sort of style, and it's not a problem at all. There's no specific thing, but it's just that it needs to have that personal touch, because my style could be very gothic, you know what I mean? And like there might be like 100 other people. It could be like crowded, like everyone's doing goth at some point. But how mine is different from those other people, because it's on me and it's my style. It's about how you carry yourself up, how you put it out there, how you explain it. It depends. It all depends, to be honest. It's always going to be crowded. Any field in life is going to be crowded. There's never a time you'll get like, oh, this is easy, this is chill. Now, like say for example, like earlier, there were only few set of people who were talking about sustainability. There were very less content creators who used to have like a plant-based, using only sustainable brands, promoting only sustainable. And now there are so many people. There are so many brands now, Indian-based brands that are fully sustainable, like 100% sustainable. Now designers will be like, oh shit, now like every other brand is sustainable. Like, what do I do to start a brand now? Because now everyone's a sustainable brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's just all on you, like how you kind of work around it, how you put your personal touch to it.
Yeah.
Anything that has a personal touch, that sort of sense of emotion,
Hmm.
and it's going to work.
Yeah.
At some point, it will. You just have to work hard towards
You have to keep hacking at it. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's such a true sentiment, Nikhil, that like everyone can have the same style, but you can always find your own unique way to rock the same style. Just because we have the same, yeah. So, Nikhil, Karan kind of touched upon this in the beginning, but that hypothetical journey for someone who's like a person who's starting out with fashion influencing right now, like just starting out. If we follow this journey a bit further now, at what point do you think such a person can start to expect brands are approaching them? And in fact, should they wait for brands to approach them, or should they be proactive and reach out to brands? What would you suggest?
So see, there's two ways to look at this. Is because I've always been a person I've never written to a brand that, hey, I want to collaborate with you. I have never done it. I'd all collaborations from 2016 or like 2015, whichever year I started, since my first collab. The first collab was with the brand Celio.
Okay.
From that collab till date, I have not reached out to any brands. But I know there are so many people who reach out to brands
Okay.
because they feel they can push themselves. So there's no harm. If, say, for example, you're someone, you've done everything. Okay, you've got the followers, you've got the engagement, but you're still not having brands reach out to you. There could be a lot of reasons why the brands are not reaching out to you. Maybe because, again, there are so many people, like you said, in lockdown, there have been so many people who become content creators now. It's just hard to find, you know what I mean? Earlier, we were too much into a niche, there were only a few people, especially me in menswear, a few people. So that's why, like, people still stick with us, is because, like, we've been there from the beginning. We've been like, no one knew about this thing, this space of work altogether. And now there are too many people, so people might not. So in a situation like that, one option is either to reach out to brands or maybe reach out to an agency who gets influencers work. There are so many talent agencies right now who are handling content creators from small scale to big scale.
Yeah.
It's just that you do your research, you'll figure it out, you'll find it. The best way is to reach out to them. Obviously, you'll have the money would be a little different because you might have to give an agency cut to them and whatever. But technically, you have to see what's better for you.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be like, there's nothing wrong, basically, is what I'm saying. There is nothing wrong in you reaching out to the brand. But there's one thing in that which is a con more than a pro, is that when you reach out to the brand, they have a leverage over you. But when a brand reaches out to me, I have a leverage over them. Like, they came to me for this. They wanted this from me. So they can't take a piss at me, because brands do. It's the truth. They will say, oh, we don't like this. Like, even if you stick to a script from like point A to point Z, they will still say, oh, we don't like this, like, reshoot this part. It's not how it works. You know what I mean? You'll do the reshoot. You can do it once, make a minor change. It's okay. You understand. It happens. They're paying you. Okay, cool. But sometimes they take a piss at you, they'll just be like, no, we are not liking this, we are not liking that, no, change this, no, completely. I've had brands change the brief after I've sent the brief. They don't care. They don't care. They just feel like, humne paise diye hain, like that very like typical ideology. We've given the money, so now we can make them do.
Yeah.
So, or I can be this hectic person, go on my social media and call out a brand for doing this. It's not going to change anything.
That's true. Yeah.
It's not going to change anything.
Yeah.
And just to like be real and tell people that people think that, oh, these influencers are making a lot of money and all. Okay, great. I know there is a lot of money, but everyone should really know that your money never comes in time. So if you're thinking, like, the one reason why people like working with companies and doing all of those things too, is because that's fixed. You don't have to run behind your money. It's a hierarchy. It works in a particular way. There are certain norms that have to be followed. But in this, it just doesn't happen. I've got payments a year later. I've had brands run away. I've had brands run away from, like, with a lot of money, but it's happened. It's a part and parcel of life. And with Indian law, you can't even sue anyone because you'll go on for 5 years or something like that. So even if you make them sign something legal, you're still, even if you really need to fight it, it's going to take many years. So no matter what you say, the Indian industry at the end of the day works on trust. No matter what field you take.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have family businesses and all, like how when your parents talk about their work, how they
Yeah.
say and do things on trust.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah,
end of the
that's
day,
true.
in India, no matter what you do, it
Yeah.
is going to be on trust. You have to
Trust.
trust someone.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
done. There's nothing more to it. If your money doesn't come, it just doesn't come.
it does
That's how it
doesn't.
is.
But at what number
That's
are you big enough to start doing brand deals? At least start doing barter deals.
Brands will do barter deals with someone with even 2,000 followers.
Okay.
They can do paid deals with people with 2,000 followers. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter. It's just that it does that person fit that brand's target audience. That's all that it is
Hmm.
about.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
There
Yeah.
is no, I can't really be that person who to tell you that, there is some specific number.
Yeah.
Like I have done campaigns for brands where, I've pushed out influencers who have 3,000 followers, 5,000 followers. But
Hmm.
like those guys are like hitting the numbers though.
Hmm.
High engagement.
Yeah, high engagement, like really high engagement and reach. And like, that's what matters by the end of it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's sometimes like this whole influencer terminology kind of annoys me in a ways because like I feel everyone should be called a content creator, the ones who are actually doing this for a living, like
Yeah.
creating content specifically.
Yeah.
Because as an influencer, I think you're an influencer, your brother's an influencer, your sister's an influencer, your mom's an influencer. Even if you make one person buy something, you become an
Yeah.
influencer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, you're influencing someone to do anything.
Correct.
So
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
yeah, and more than anything, to be honest, I'll tell you like how this whole influencer sort of category works. I just feel that brands start expecting that it's going to pump up their sales,
Hmm.
and it's going to like boost their sales so high. That's what they have to do. I feel the major reason you need to do influencer marketing for your brand
Hmm.
is to get more brand awareness.
Yeah.
The major
Yes.
goal of it is not driving sales.
Yeah.
The major
Yeah.
goal is supposed to be brand awareness, like what people used to
Yeah.
do hoardings earlier for branding, for brand awareness.
Hmm.
Like you'll see there'll always be a similar store on the same street,
Yeah.
brands.
Yeah.
There'll always be a Adidas close to a Nike,
Yeah. Yeah.
because these are mandatory norms, like they need to be around each other because you're comparing. Because if you walk out of a Nike store, even if your first pick is Nike, you will not like, then you will go and walk into an Adidas store.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to be there. If you see, for example, there's a United Colors of Benetton store on Linking Road, and that's been there for like years.
Yeah.
That brand doesn't need that massive store. It's 2 stories full, like no reason. It's a massive store. It doesn't need it. No,
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone inside. But all their competitors, like there's Tommy Hilfiger close by, there's Jack and
Yeah.
Jones close
Yeah.
by. So they just need to be there.
Yeah.
And that is literally just a advertising strategy more than sales there.
Sales.
It's just
Hmm.
there so that it's in people's eyes.
Yeah.
It's not there for any other reason. They probably be
Yeah.
making money somewhere else. That money, this is like their marketing spend
Yeah.
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
than having the store.
Brands also don't get is that sale conversion is not just dependent on the influence of the creator. It also depends on their product and whether how
Exactly.
good the product is. So I think
Yeah.
that is also often
Of course,
ignored.
100%. And the Indian audience is very hard to crack, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm saying that not because like I'm shitting on Indians, but I'm just saying that that's how we are. That's how we've grown up. We think too much before wanting to try something new. Like I personally don't. That's the reason why I can say it. I can make that bold statement that it's Indians are a difficult audience. Is because it takes me a lot of time to try a new product.
Yeah.
Like I use the Garnier Men's Oil Clear face wash since donkey years. I know there are many other products in the market. I'm the one promoting a lot of products, but at the end of the day, I will try those products, but I'll still go back to my product
Yeah.
because I'm just very hell bent on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason why if brands need sales, they want to push their sales out, do Facebook ads. And
Yeah.
now you do Facebook ads, they link on both your Facebook and Instagram platform. WhatsApp for business is insane. Like
Yeah.
these are the things brands need to be doing if they really want to drive sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even when I have friends who have new brands who just have like startups, they're doing like a say a clothing label my friend started. So
Yeah.
I'll be like, they're like, oh dude, I want to like like I'm not getting sales right now since we have just started, and I want to like do some like influencer activities. I was like, see, if you're doing influence activities, that you're aiming at brand awareness. Don't think that now you'll do like a whole outreach with influencers. That means your sales are going to go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It just works differently. I was like, it also depends what kind of brand it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some brands like food and beverage brands, for example, if you're like a brand that does like spices and stuff like that, your Facebook advertising is going to work way more. Like I
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
influencers do these also. They do sauces. They do a lot of these products. Like, of course, there's your Dyson that does a lot of influencer activities as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for brands like that, I think their sales are only going to drive through Instagram and through Facebook. Your
Yeah.
moms are the ones who are going to buy these products.
Yeah.
Any of us are going to walk into a Dyson store tomorrow and buy a bloody some shit? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy a goddamn air purifier. Just not something I do.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
right.
There might be a few people. I'm not saying there might be a lot of people who buy it because, like, if you're living alone, what do you do? But like, I don't think anyone living alone wants this fancy ass air purifier.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, "हाँ ठीक है, जो भी है, हवा अच्छी है."
But we've touched on commercials, and I think you've really opened my eyes as to like the fact that payment can be delayed and the fact that you have no recourse at all. Like that's eye opening to me. And in fact, if we can follow that thread for a little bit, how as an influencer or somebody starting out, how do you ensure you're not being shortchanged or basically given the short end of the stick by brands when it comes to barter deals? And even when it comes to commercials, like how do you figure out like what you can charge or what kind of a barter is a fair barter?
See, honestly, that's a very hard one that I can't like now because I've been in the situation in the scene for really long. I know like with how many numbers. See, how much you charge all depends again. Then the follower thing aspect comes into the picture. There's a specific sort of a price you can charge, but there are some people who will charge exorbitant prices no matter what the followers are.
Yeah.
So you have to figure it out with like what your cost per click is.
Yeah.
Cost per view is like that's how you calculate it. Like people do like intense calculations, but I've been doing like I do it on my own. I do it some sort of way. I just like, okay, I want to charge this much today and I want to charge this much tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's also on a personal this thing. That's the reason why like these agencies that are there who are handling like talent agencies that are handling influencers, content creators. I think those are a good ones to like kind of reach out to because they'll be able to pitch you at the right price. If you're someone who's lost, you can always start with that. You can always do it, say maybe 6 months to a year, and then you feel that okay, I can do it on my own. Then I don't opt for that is because like I've already built like a direct contact with a lot of brands, so I don't really need to like
Go
through that process. I don't need to because unless they're getting me different work, but which they can even without me being there. Because if they have a campaign going on, they can push it out. They can push me irrespective. So I don't think there's a need. So that's the reason why I've never had like an agency. I've had many agencies reach out to me and tell me that they'll want to handle everything. And also sometimes honestly it feels that okay, that'll take a lot of my headache, but I'm just a very like an anal person. I just want everything to be done like in a particular way to perfect. And my first question to even them is like, if you're going to promise me that you're going to get me my money in time, please handle me. But they also can't promise you that. The day an agency comes to me and is like, we promise you that I will get your payment within even 30 days. I will say, sure, take the 20% of everything, but just give me the money in time.
On time.
Because what is the point if I do something today and I get benefited for it a year later? I've missed out on an as in, I'm not saying it always is that bad, but I think it's a good 20 to 30% of the time where it gets delayed at least to 6 to 8 months. It just happens. And if you're working with bigger companies, they anyway do payment cycles of 45 to 60 days from your date of your invoice, and you can only invoice after the campaign is over. So even if it's like a monthly campaign, if it's lasting say from 1st June to like end of June, like say July, say from even if it's from say June to August and it ends in August, you will invoice it after the entire thing is over. After you've completed all your deliverables, that's when you invoice it. And from your invoicing date, it'll be a minimum of, there are only few companies that do 30 days, but it's usually 45 to 60 days.
So this is, I think, one of the expectations that people need to have getting into this. Another thing maybe we can shed some light into, and I know this is a difficult one to answer right off the bat, But if someone's looking at doing this like a career, and let's assume they won't be like that 1% that really blows up, but that they're a moderately successful
Yeah.
influencer, uh, what kind of a range of income can like a person hypothetically expect? I know it depends on a couple of things, but if someone wants to do this like as a livelihood, like is this something that they can manage full time, part time? Like what kind of a range can one expect?
I won't give you like a particular amount, but I'll say it's going to be way higher than what you'll make in a job, even 5 years down a job.
Okay.
Because a lot of people want to take this up as a career, but they have a hard time convincing their parents that this is a legit career.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah,
But it is hard, because see, if you're young, you have the time on you.
Yeah.
You can be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna give it a shot. I think parents are now like, even parents are on reels, man, on TikTok and all. Even parents are on it. They know what is going on. They see, I've seen like a lot of like my friends are like, oh, my friends are like telling one of my friends like, Arey, why aren't you making all these videos? See how many of these girls are doing it, and sometimes, sorry. So there are so many people, like so many parents are now pushing their kids. They're like, yeah, go do it, right? If it works out, works out. Doesn't work out, doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So I think now even parents are getting aware, and now like when our generation, like the millennial crowd, when now we're starting to get kids. So like now then it'll slowly it'll just like happen. Like it'll just be easy for all the kids to be able to pursue this as a career. So I just feel that it is. But some people are like, there are a lot of people who push like, okay, yeah, you can go drop out, don't drop out. Like, don't drop out of college to do this. That's just something stupid to do, because it's something that gives you the ability to do it in your free time. Some people go play sports. Like, okay, cool. You want to sit and use that time to go and create some videos and try to push in a different career. Yeah, do it.
Yeah. Okay.
There are many people like who are in the field of finance, but like suddenly during this lockdown have blown up on fashion or like beauty, or
Yeah.
and then now they are at that confusing stage where they feel like, oh, should I still pursue my finance career, or should I like start doing this? That's a hard position to be in, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because if I talk about myself personally, few years down the line, I'm not going to want to do this.
Yeah.
As my main.
Yeah.
The one reason I started my company was because I don't see myself being a content creator all through my life. I love creating content. Maybe I will, but I won't do it as aggressively as I am right now.
Okay.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you want to see a life. It's like a life of being a content creator, is the same life of any like a freelance stylist or a freelance graphic designer. It all depends on the demand.
Yeah.
Everything's so ever changing. Tomorrow something can just not work for you anymore.
Yeah.
And then at that point, what do you do?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have a breakout that time. So that's the reason why I feel like everyone should have a second thing that they're also focused on simultaneously. Do it for the first, like say you've just graduated from college. You do it fully for the first 1 year, 2 year if you want. But after that, you need to take that one big step to think of something else that they can do that might just be a little more stable, can give you, like, you need to think of an additional source of income. You can't just bank on this thing like this is, I want to make it in this, I'm making.
Yeah.
You see people in the entertainment content creation sort of field, people who do these skits, like do funny stuff. At the end of the day, if you see them now, a lot of them have now got into TV. There is a second step goal to that also. Because if you see, everyone has moved a step forward. Either they have a show of their own, or they have something else of their own. Like, it just happens. There has to be something.
Yeah, your personal brand is always going to help you even in your business. So your initiative will always be fruitful for you. For our next question, Nikhil, we know that you've done some incredible work with brands through your agency. What are things that brands and agencies look at before they sign on an influencer for a certain campaign or project?
So one thing is they see if they are targeted. So they are the insights that we get, brands check, because it's important to see like what's the male female ratio, and even geographically where their audience is. Because sometimes people want to also target, like some brands like want to target like smaller towns, so they need to like figure out, okay, then I will want to go to an influencer in this XYZ city and not just like a Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, like the
Yeah.
major metro cities. They will
Yeah.
branch out and look a little elsewhere. Then
Mhm.
some brands also want a more wide spread viewership, so they'll go to like a food. They will not just like go to a person who does fashion. They'll also go to like a food blog, or they'll go to a travel blog,
Mm.
or they'll go to
Mm.
like try to tap like different sectors of work. So there are a lot of things brands look at. I can actually give you an
Mm.
example because one of our biggest clients is Mastercard. Now that's
Okay.
something, it doesn't matter what field, because it's not a fashion brand or something. It's
Yeah.
like very generic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've done say about 3 to 4 campaigns for them,
Yeah.
and it's just been crazy. We've always picked influencers from different fields of work.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's never been a campaign where it's just been one person.
Mm.
Mm.
One thing like a brand like that, again, then they care about is the quality. Also, content also matters a lot with the followers,
Yeah.
because we've paid good amounts even to like micro influencers in these campaigns, because like the brand appreciates the content, so it's very different from
Mm.
each person. Then there are some like a lot of grooming brands that are there. They want more trendy, they just want like, oh, what is trending on reels right now, we want to do that.
That.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some brands are like very like sort of like have a little bit of an orthodox ideology, so they'll even want their like social media campaigns to look like a TV advert.
Mm.
So it all really depends from brand to brand and what they really require. But I just
Mm.
feel two most important things would be the quality of content
Yeah.
and your overall reach.
Yeah.
What is a good engagement rate for
Uh,
influencers?
5 to 6% is great
Oh,
engagement
okay.
rate.
Okay. Okay.
5 to 6%
So,
is good. If you're touching like scraping a good like 5%, yeah. There are some brands, who even pick influencers on the engagement rate. They say that they need a
Okay.
minimum of 4% engage.
Okay.
Like we want to say tap like the fashion. We want fashion
yeah.
influencers, and from the
Yeah.
fashion influencers, we want them to have at least a 4% engagement rate, and we don't care about the number of followers.
Yeah.
We just want that much engagement rate, because
Mm.
we
Yeah.
want that even if we are pushing that much amount for this, we want at least those many people it's reaching to without fail. So
Yeah.
that way you can track the growth of the campaign, right? Because we at the end of the day need to give the client a report of the campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need
Okay.
to show that, because we have to learn from the campaign ourselves, right? Like where
Yeah.
it went right and where it went wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the next time I do a campaign, I need to go back to my older report for the same
Yeah.
client and be like, okay, this is where we messed up.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is where it didn't work. We didn't really mess up, but it was our learning,
Yeah.
because it was, say, maybe the first time we were doing something. So if any time you're working with a brand for the first time, it's not going to be top notch. That's what we tell brands. See, we can give you an estimate, so that's how you calculate it. You see that this influencer has a this much estimated engagement rate. So
Yeah.
say we say
Yeah.
pick these 5 influencers, we'll do the math and see like this person's reach, average reach is this much.
Mm.
So we can say this campaign will reach say 1 million users.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was like an average, but now that can
Mm.
reach 10 million users also,
That's true.
Yeah.
and it can reach like way half of what we estimated also.
Yeah.
Usually that doesn't happen. Usually that
Hmm.
doesn't happen because the estimate
Yeah.
we are giving on their normal daily engagement. So
Okay.
that much is on an average it will touch.
Hmm.
That's why we don't
Yeah.
promise more. But now say if
Okay.
we estimated 1 million viewership, we'll be
Hmm.
like, okay, this is what we did. Now, why did we only reach 1 million? Technically, we could have reached more. So where we
Yeah.
made our mistakes in the campaign,
Hmm.
maybe
Hmm.
we did less video, maybe the video from the video deliverable worked more. Sometimes it
Okay.
happens that the images worked more, for example.
Yeah.
So we'll be like, okay, for the next campaign, we'll try to focus on images. We'll try to work with more images. It depends on what the brand is, right?
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
worked. Maybe the concept worked more. It didn't matter whether it was static or video. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, this worked. This is what we know. So we'll see these few pointers you take and say that these few things we have to use in the next campaign because they worked for us, and
Yeah.
these few things that didn't work with us. They could be like an
Yeah.
influencer didn't work.
Mm.
It didn't fit the brand in some way. We
Yeah.
thought it fit, but it didn't fit. There are
Yeah.
many things, many aspects that you have to see. But yeah, we do need to make a report after the campaign is over
Yeah.
to give them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds very much, Nikhil. It's so interesting, like a trial and error thing. Like you try this, and you say, okay, this works, this doesn't work, so abandon this, and then do more of this,
Yeah.
double down on it, and sort of finding your
Yeah.
way slowly. Yeah.
100%, 100%. Even with your content, right? Even if it's your
Hmm.
personal content, that's how it's going to work. You put out a video, you'll be like, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? You need to weigh, understand
Yeah.
why it didn't work.
Yeah.
Question yourself, why didn't it do what I expected it to do?
Yeah.
Once you answer that question for yourself,
Hmm.
automatically the next time you're going to do a video, you'll be like, oh yes.
Hmm.
You know, maybe like this video, my transitions were good, but my lighting was bad.
Yeah.
So next time I
Hmm.
will make sure that I light it
Lighting is
correctly,
on point.
and yeah, something or the other is going to go off. You know, there's some
Yeah.
reason. Maybe I used the wrong hashtag.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I didn't use hashtag. So that's why you
Hmm.
have to try and do things. You know, I was like, say today you use this video, can I use this hashtag? Say
Hmm.
maybe that video didn't reach that much. Tomorrow, the next time you're going to post it, you'll be like, okay, I'm going to try these hashtags and see how
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're using say 5 hashtags, yesterday you used 5 hashtags, but they were all like the trendy ones,
Hmm.
like the most like which has like millions of like
Yeah.
posts every day. Next day you'll be like, okay, cool, let's not try those. Maybe my post is getting lost and that those hashtags, the algorithm's not picking those hashtags.
Yeah.
So you will be like, okay, I'll go more niche with my hashtag.
Hmm.
I'll go more like instead of hashtagging sneakers, I'll hashtag white sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Go more specific.
More
Okay.
specific.
It's like how you do your Facebook adverts, right? Like it gets more this thing, it gets more expensive when you put
Yeah.
make
More
down,
like,
like you
yeah.
reduce it. You
Yeah.
go less wide, the more wide you go, the cheaper it
Good.
is. Right?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
more niche you start going,
The more
it gets
expensive.
more expensive. So that's how it is.
We spoke about
Hmm.
engagement earlier in the conversation, and there's this concept by Kevin Kelly. It's called the 1,000 True Fans concept, where it talks about you needing just 1,000 fans who are truly invested in you, and they need to
Nice.
invest just $100 in you over the year, and you will have an annual income of $100,000. Do you have any advice for young creators as to how they can form a deeper connection with their audience and possibly form a community online?
I just feel like it is the most important thing, like especially when you're starting out to even now. Like I could be like, okay, I interact with my followers earlier because that's when I was picking up, and now it's been like 5, 6 years, so why should I care about it? Now it's like they'll understand that I'm busy. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
about.
Mm.
There are many influencers who have like 1 million followers. Also, they are always engaging with their followers. That's what they want. They want that personal approach. They want that reply. There are people till date message me on DM and ask me like, "Hey, bro, I just bought this shirt. What kind of pants do you think I can wear it with?" And
Mm.
I make sure that I always reply to them, whether it's on
Wow.
DM or it's in my comments or
Yeah.
it's anywhere.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to do these things because you need to
Yeah.
appreciate, like, you know, what you're doing in your life. These are the people who are actually appreciating what you're doing. That's the
Hmm.
reason why you are where you are.
Hmm.
If those
Yeah.
people weren't there, then what would happen? So the only
Yeah.
way that you can kind of grow that loyal fan base is when you interact with them each time. I know sometimes it's really hard to keep up with too many messages and stuff. You could be blowing up, but
Yeah.
like if you're say you're someone who's like getting too many messages, unable to reply to DMs, but at least put that message out there that like when I get the time, I do try to see your messages and I reply to the max amount of people I can.
Yeah.
If I missed your message, if there's something, that's why influencers always you got to do like polls.
Yeah.
You
Mm.
need to do these things, like how people do these ask me anything
Yeah.
Yeah.
sort of things on their stories. So they see,
Mm.
now, so we'll weigh, like there'll be like say 100 people who ask the same question. Now
Yeah.
then that's important to answer that question. People do
Yeah.
Q&A videos. Like if you're
Yeah.
someone who just like can't keep up, then you make like a whole video, post it on like your YouTube, post it on IGTV.
Mm.
That's the only way you're going to build that loyal audience. And I
Yeah.
haven't, like I said, like I haven't changed so much in numbers. I've been around the same follower numbers since like over a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
Even
Mm.
though I could like overnight blow up tomorrow, I hope that happens. But I just know that those 50 odd thousand people that follow me are genuine. Like they
Yeah.
like me. That's the reason why they follow me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's important to me, and it has always been important to me. I see
Yeah.
there are many people who are always like arguing, oh man, this like I'm not increasing followers. It's like it's not going to change anything. There are people who be like, I'm buying followers. Just why do you do that? Because at the end of the day, it's going to take a toll on your own head.
Yeah.
Hmm.
See, everyone might think, okay, cool, like, oh, this guy's cool, he has 100,000 followers, he just started off.
Mm.
But in my head, I'm just like, fuck, this is fake.
Yeah.
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 Like shit, like all these followers are fake, and I know it personally, and it's going to eat my
Exactly.
personal brain, because I know that
Exactly.
truth.
Yeah.
That's where the problem begins.
Yeah.
See, there are many. I would say that there are many ways, like you suggest some brands as well to buy followers just to get that this thing. These are all strategies. They are going to work. That's how marketing works. There is a reason why these platforms are available, right? There's a reason why they have not been taken down.
Yeah.
Has any government taken down these places, portals that you can buy followers? Everyone does it very legally and officially. Has Instagram raised a flag? They're very openly there. Instagram can raise a flag tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because that's how it is.
Yeah.
But one can't do that a lot because it will clearly impact your engagement rate, and it will be very evident that this person has fake followers.
It is evident. People still do it. There are so many people.
Yeah.
So many people. I'm not even like, I'm seeing people like verified people.
Wow. Okay.
It's insane, and it gets really obvious. You come to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if people think that they can do it and they can get away with it, maybe they can get away with it. Some brands, just like work like that. There are some agencies who just like, they only care about how many numbers, so they're pushing, and the brands also like, iske itne follower hai, theek hai, we'll collaborate with this person. But if you really want to grow as a creator and see yourself, what you want to see, like where you are at some point in 5 years, your career might end if you go with that ideology.
Yeah.
That every time you're like, I'll get away with it, I'll get away with it. It's not happening. Things are evolving. I'm telling you, it's a shock to me, like the amount of changes happen. It's very hard for me to keep up.
Yeah.
We started, like when I started, it was a really easy time.
Yeah.
So I honestly hats off to each creator right now who's doing such good content and making such videos. They are in fact like, people are less egoistic now.
Yeah.
Back in my day, people used to not collaborate that much. Like in 2015, 2016, it was just very few set of people who will be open to collaborating with you, Like I'm talking about individuals, I'm not talking about brand collaborations.
Yeah.
But right now you'll see like, because what happens is people start, like back in the days, people used to see each other as competition, which I honestly was just blew my mind, is because like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You're more like colleagues.
Yeah.
You are competitors. It's more that sort of a vibe. It's because like a brand can collaborate with all.
Yeah.
So why not collaborate? Like I'm always down to like, okay, chal, I'll get this dude is cool. I don't mind collaborating with them. And that's what I see. Like this entire whole Gen Z sort of crowd creators, they're really killing the game is because they all are collaborating with each other, doing fun shit together. That way collaborating is really like picking up their reach.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if they follow one person, it's not like they won't follow you.
Exactly.
Exactly. We can have the same followers. Who cares?
Yeah. It's not a zero-sum game.
Like your ex now likes someone else.
Yeah. I like that one. Okay.
Yeah, it's just obvious, right? Like it's going to happen. You can't expect someone to like just one thing.
Nikhil, from an agency perspective, what do you think is the future of influencer marketing? Will micro-influencers be getting more deals than mega-influencers? Or, like...
It's not... I just feel that it's not like who will get more collabs. It's micro-influencers obviously are a thing. It just depends on which brand you are. So I think it's like a 50% sort of a situation. But I just see a growth from here because, there's going to be AR, VR, artificial intelligence, all AI is just going to be like insane. Like people, I'm sure at some point they'll just be like live. You can go live and literally sell your products on the live. Like I can just click on the product in my video while I'm live and just like put it in a cart. Like, there's just going to be some insane growth when it comes to AI specifically. You see all of these VR filters now that brands are doing. They want people to like play these games and this and that on like these Instagram filters. So it's only going to grow like higher.
Yeah, in fact, like you said, it's only going to grow. And there are, if I'm not wrong, around 500 million people in India that have yet not discovered the internet. So the market is also going to blow up even more.
That's kind of insane, to be honest.
Yeah, insane.
That's why everyone's pivoting slowly to India, right? Whenever you have like India and like we're talking from a YouTube space, but you have India in the title of thumbnail, you're going to get those many more clicks, those many more views for sure.
Yeah, India's population is so high. India is like probably one of the biggest markets. Like once when TikTok shut down, that's like probably one of the biggest hits they must have taken.
Yeah, absolutely.
India is one of the biggest markets. Like you see like We used to say, like rickshaw guys and all are not aware. They know more than half of us.
Absolutely.
They
Yeah.
like know everything. Everyone's very well aware. India is a really fast-paced like country.
Yeah.
Their learning speed is really fast. India's all like chop, chop, chop. There's no like this whole 5 business days and all bullshit doesn't work in the country.
Yeah.
They want to get shit done like right
Right
now.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nikhil, I had another question, and this question might sound a bit strange, so just stick with
Yeah.
it for a second. But when people, like generally people look at lifestyle bloggers, at fashion influencers, there's this idea like their life looks perfect. You know, you scroll through their Instagram page, they're always, you know, holidaying in some exotic locale or eating some really fancy cuisine. And everyone has that image. But being a person who's lived that life, who knows that life, and who's lived it for a while, my question is, what's like the flip side of that? What's the other side of that? What's the side that people don't always see? What's the reality behind that image?
Firstly, the biggest reality is no one is who they are on their social media in real life.
Hmm.
I have gone with so many people.
Hmm.
Like, I think the only person I can say that is themselves on camera and off camera is Ranveer Singh. Because
Hmm.
I've seen that guy normally and I have seen him on screen. He has the same amount of energy. But if you compare it to anyone else, I have seen so many people who are like on there this thing, like drinking
Yeah.
this Glen drink and like as a collaboration and
Hmm.
shit. And then in real life, they don't drink.
Hmm. Really?
They're like talking about in their stories about how they had an insane party on this trip that they did was sponsored trip and they did a party. And I was like, hey, you didn't do jack shit. You slept at 11 p.m. I was the one partying till 8 in the morning. So sometimes it's just like you don't know like what to believe and what not to believe.
Yeah.
People think I'm traveling so much. He's like, bro, you're also living your life.
Yeah.
I don't get out of my house. The reality is that I
Yeah.
don't get out of my house in general.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I have gotten out is when I am traveling. Otherwise, I'm this person who's always by himself, sitting at home, doing my work
Hmm.
at home, not interacting too much, not going out on the weekends. At one point, I used to be that person,
Hmm.
but I like to keep it as real as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people know. I'm sure a lot of people keep it real, but I'm saying
Yeah.
there is still a set of people who like show something on camera and behind camera it's insane. And honestly, people think that it's so easy, like isko kya karna hai? He'll just go and click a picture in front of a cool background and wear an outfit and now he's
Hmm.
making money.
Yeah.
It's literally not that. There's a lot of things. Like I'm saying, like it's so hard to keep up is because I'm just like I'm not seeing for example, if I was a person who takes things to heart, I have not seen a growth in a year and a half, I would be losing my mind. Any other
Yeah.
person, like there's so
Mm-hmm.
many people, like there've been creators internationally in India who've committed suicide. There are a lot of problems like that happen. It's not an easy thing to do. It's like any other job.
Yeah.
It takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing
Yeah.
it is that you don't have a 9 to 5 timing attached to it or a fixed salary attached to it. But
Yeah.
it still has similar sort of troubles and issues that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People shouldn't make fun of it, to anyone, to a doctor, say someone in marketing.
Hmm.
A doctor will find a marketing job being like, what are you even doing? You know what
Hmm.
I mean? But does a
Mm-hmm.
doctor do that? No, it doesn't do that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
any other person should equally respect people who are in the content creation space.
Hmm.
Like, hey, like you can't
Yeah.
do this. This person's being able to do this.
Yeah.
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 So that's how it is. I think the troubles are the same, and it's just that people should stop like also basing their lives on social media because that's how like all these body positivity and like these
Hmm.
people are liking all of that is because they also try to keep it real, like don't
Yeah.
like go crazy.
Yeah.
Don't lose your mind. Don't think that that's an ideal body. Like when I'm on Instagram, I go to my explore and I see only dudes with six-pack abs. It does
Yeah.
take a toll on my head as well.
Yeah.
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 Even
Yeah.
though I'm that person who is posting pictures, I'm that same person like them. But no, I do not have that kind of body type.
Yeah.
I love the beach. I'm always at the beach, and
Yeah.
I till date. I'm a lot of times like when I'm not in my best shape, I'm
Hmm.
conscious to take my t-shirt off on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But there are my friends with like the biggest tummies. They don't give a rat's ass, and that's the
Hmm.
right attitude to have.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
that's literally the right attitude to have. Because when you see something on social media, you think that that's how ideally you should be.
Yeah.
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 Not how it is. It works differently. You don't know that person is probably starving himself in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
person is eating, not eating those pizzas that you're eating. So
Yeah.
it's not an easy thing. It is going to take a toll on your head. So it's really important to not base your life on, like, even for creators, I'm saying, because they also
Yeah.
will look at other people who are doing this for longer, who are like way, like, more experience, has more reach, more engagement, whatever,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, oh shit, why am I not there? Say there's a hardship. It's like, it's just sometimes it's not easy. It works, something worked for them. It's a hard
Yeah.
struggle. It's just going to happen for you at some point. So just don't keep like a benchmark that is all specifically unrealistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
You can
kudos
have
to you.
goals like that.
Sorry.
I'm saying that you can have goals like that. It's good to push yourself, but don't depend on it.
Yeah. Like, don't drive yourself crazy to get to them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just do your best. You do the best in your capacity, and it is going to come to you
Yeah.
at some point. It can come to you in 6 months. Like I said, nowadays you can become a sensation overnight.
Yeah.
Think specifically in the content space.
Yeah.
So just keep going at it.
Yeah.
Basically.
But Nikhil, man, kudos to you, because it's so refreshing to hear that you are somebody who's like an OG here, and you are somebody who's in this fashion and style space, and for you also to admit that there are times where even I feel conscious of myself is like, that's massive props to you, man.
Yeah, like I'm like, it took me a long time, like, to like even post or talk a lot about myself. Like I used
Yeah.
to be this person who used to put one word captions. Now I write captions and like explain, like, what I'm doing, because sometimes
Yeah.
it's just like difficult for me. Like I
Yeah.
posted a picture of myself without my t-shirt, like, some time ago,
Yeah.
and I was talking about how, like, even with angles you look different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's hard. Like people need to understand. I'm saying this is for the audience who are not creators. I like to say that, like, even we are humans, and we also have the same hardships and issues that you have. And this
Mm.
is a realistic field. There is a reason why influencers has become a big category, and it is a full-time career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think half the times people just want to make fun of it because they just feel like they are making more money than they are.
Yeah.
So it comes, a lot of these few things come out of jealousy, which is fine. It's
Mm.
going to happen. But it is the real field. People are going to do it. And I would just want to say, like, people keep it like real, and it's all going to come to you.
Yeah.
So Nikhil, to sort of round this off on a more lighter note, because we've gone on a solemn note here, we wanted to kind of do a bit of like a rapid fire kind of a thing where we like ask you a bunch of questions. If you can just answer in like a word or a line, is that okay for you? Does that work?
Okay.
Okay. So the first question is, what's your take on men wearing jewelry and wearing makeup?
Uh, I think I'm 100% like down for it. Jewelry is something that's been like there for a long time, but makeup is something new to the audience. So I just feel like everyone should do what they're doing.
Okay.
Honestly, having a beard is like putting makeup because
Yeah.
it's kind of does the same job.
Yeah.
It covers half your face, gives you a sharper jawline. It's like doing makeup. So I don't think
Yeah.
it should be like separated with gender.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Uh, Three things about you that you think will surprise your followers and
Uh, that I now One thing would be probably that I now wake up at 7:30 in the morning and I sleep at 11 at night, which is
fans.
very
Okay.
rare because I'm used to DJing, playing parties, doing all of these things till 4 5 a.m. So yeah, that's one thing that'll probably surprise people. And what else? Actually, that's so hard to think. That would surprise people. Because I think I just kind of put everything out there so like obvious that I
Yeah.
can't think of something that like someone will be surprised with.
Yeah. But like a random fact about you, like a hidden talent, like
A hidden talent. I played state level basketball, which I don't think
okay.
a lot of people know about me. Played for
Okay.
like good 8 10 years.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that I would leave fashion for music at any point of my life.
Okay. Okay.
No one really knows that actually.
Yeah.
I've never like said it aloud. Like
Yeah.
I probably one, two of my friends maybe know it, but
Yeah.
like as a whole, I'd be with a blink of an eye, if I get an opportunity to do something in music, I'll do it. Like to
Word.
play if I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always gonna be my first love, and it's never gonna go.
Yeah.
I wouldn't survive without music, to be honest.
Music, something else, and I think Karan would also.
Yeah, no
I
would I
think,
survive without.
yeah.
Bro, if there was a world where there was no music, I can't live in that world.
Yeah.
Nahin.
It's just no matter what you say, it just can't happen.
Yeah.
I had like this heart to heart with my friend actually the other day when I was in Manali.
Yeah.
He's like, no, dude, like I wouldn't be able to live. I feel like I feel it. I feel it. I just can't.
Yeah. Okay, next question. What's one really bizarre fashion trend that you will never understand?
Actually, I'm the person who like doesn't mind with the, like all the androgynous fashion or when it comes to any like print or colors. Like I'm so open to everything,
Yeah.
but I just feel like the whole 90s trend of going back to wearing like low waist jeans for women. I'm just for some reason I'm just like currently I'm feeling it's a bit off. I think that's probably the only thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to be a person who used to hate Crocs, but I like Crocs also now. I'm like, it's okay, it looks good. And like the social media has shaped you in such a way now.
Yeah.
It's just like you have to think before saying something bad about
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean? You're like, you can't have like a personal
Yeah.
opinion to anything because
Yeah.
tomorrow you might be
Get
cancelled.
cancelled.
It
Yeah.
kind of scares me
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
to say something.
Everyone's
You
throwing
something
the
or the
line.
other offend someone today,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it's like tomorrow they're just like, hey, this guy did
Yeah.
this, like he said this. I'm so sorry. I'm like really sorry. Everything is good, like low waist, high waist,
Everything
whatever
is
you do.
fine.
Go naked, go butt naked on the street. I'm absolutely okay with it.
Yeah. And I guess the last one is: are there any signs or any things you look out for that let you know that a trend is going to blow up in the fashion world?
I'm just usually very aware about things around me. So like I'm actually it's very unpredictable. There's
Okay.
nothing I see is because like the randomest things are trends.
Mm.
I just sometimes don't understand half the trends.
Yeah.
Like a guy and girl standing with their hands up and just moving their butt is a trend. I don't what the hell does that mean? Like people are doing it. Like please explain the trend to me because it's a big question mark. So if that question I don't have an answer to is because I don't look at anything because anything can be a trend.
Yeah. Yeah. The world can
But
be
like
quite
for me,
perplexing.
yeah, I really like I care more of like what I don't care what's overall going to be a trend, but I always look at things at what I personally like. So like I get obsessed. Like for me, majorly it's about colors. I'm a like colorful person. I love colors, and I have this obsession. Like if I'm like obsessing, I had a phase last 3-4 months. I was obsessed with lilac. So everything I bought by default, I just bought lilac.
Lilac. Yeah.
Yeah, I just kept buying everything like similar to lilac, any shades of purple.
Yeah.
I was just like losing my mind like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have those aesthetic phases where like a particular style or a particular color just it's like it's the aesthetic equivalent of a earworm where it's just stuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I see a lot in music, you know what I mean? Sometimes you
Yeah.
just hear like some tracks and you're like, oh man, this shit could be a trend. But then what happens is it doesn't blow up because it's not a trend. You thought it would be a trend. So there's nothing that you can really pick up to see if this is going to be a trend or not because anything can be.
Unnecessary pressure to follow trends, and sometimes it comes in the way of what you want to make. But I think sometimes you need to maintain a balance of trends and what you want to do.
Absolutely.
No, but actually, like before we end this call, that's one thing I would want to shed a little light on is because when this whole trendy thing happened that day, for like specifically when reels happened, for example, I also got into that bubble where like, okay, now do I have to do these trends? And then I saw everyone was doing these trends. And I saw like YouTubers doing these videos where they followed like only trends for a month and saw massive growth in their Instagram in the month, and they did it as a social experiment. So I saw it and I was like, it's crazy if you want to do that. But I had this conversation with a few other creators and I was like, dude, I can't do that. And I don't think anyone rather have a slower growth, but don't put your head stuck into that. Don't do it if you don't like it. Do it for yourself. This is supposed to be the space of content creation is way more personal. That's what people need to like understand and keep it and be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Try to pick up things from these trends. Like say maybe use a song
Yeah.
or use something. Maybe you can relate to a dance, so you do the dance. There's no harm in
Yeah.
that. But till the time you're actually relating to it.
Yeah.
No, I can do this whole hold some chick's hand and like move my butt and shit, but I'm not doing it because it just doesn't
That's
make
not you.
sense.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just not me, and people need to understand that. Just for quicker growth, don't do unnecessarily. You don't need to
Yeah.
pick these trends, and nor do you unnecessarily need to buy followers. So
Yeah.
these two things are like a big no, at least from me,
Yeah.
because all these things can take a major toll on your head, and I think like mental
Yeah.
health is really important more than anything
Yeah.
else. Even though it's
Yeah.
I think one of the most important things that people need to take care about. Like I said, like this whole cancel culture, someone can just shit on you the next day. It's a really scary place to be in.
Yeah.
Like before being like earlier, I knew I was when I was vocal, I might I was like people are not going to get as offended. But now before even saying something, like people come up to me on like when see when the COVID thing was happening or like farmers protest is happening, I'm like
Yeah.
getting bombarded with DMs, you're an influencer, these influencers are so spineless and this. And I'm seeing friends of mine say all of this, huh? I was like, dude, if I say something wrong, I also get cancelled. And if I say there's only little bit of a chance.
Yeah.
50% of people are pro it and 50% of the people are
Yeah.
against it.
Yeah.
Like if I say something about farmers protest, there are people who don't like I'm getting live threats
Yeah. Yeah.
by some supporter of this particular political ideology someone has, and they
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
against
Yeah.
me. What am I supposed to do?
What do you
Tomorrow I
do?
am dead on the street. What do? I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So like I just feel like people need to start giving these creators, influencers like that space to like speak on what they want to speak about. And if they don't
Yeah.
want to speak about something, just don't speak about something. Okay, they have
Yeah.
followers, but that doesn't like have to, that doesn't make them less human.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like even people tell, like a lot of people, like they like in such controversy they talk about even major actors. I'm not talking about content creators, I'm talking about big actors who have big following. They say that no, this actor didn't speak about it. I was like, do you know the backside of it? Do you
Yeah.
think maybe that they have their own reasons?
Yeah.
They are also livelihood they need to think about. They can't only think
Absolutely.
about other people. They
Yeah.
can't only, you have to think about yourself, and it's important. And if someone doesn't want to speak about something, they won't. I
Yeah.
have not spoken about a lot of these things. I've never
Yeah.
posted. If I feel I have that ideology that I want to talk about, I will talk about
You
it.
will talk
But
about
if
it.
I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
I did my bit in COVID, but like when there was some other whole thing issue with like a BJP related something, I didn't shed a light on it. I
Yeah.
had my thoughts. I had an ideology. I had like, okay, this is what I believe. I
Hmm.
had my right and wrong. But
Yeah.
that was for me.
Yeah.
And for me to discuss with my person in my personal space with my friends and
Exactly.
people. I didn't have to
Exactly.
put my word out there.
Out there. Yeah.
I have posted those things. I've had backlash for putting things where I'm standing with the majority people like, this is good. But then there are other set of people now who are against it.
Yeah.
And that's taking a toll on my mental health. So I
Yeah.
just
Of
feel
course.
like people who are like who will probably watch this video should just understand to give like they are like creators are humans as well. And they have same
Yeah.
kind of feelings other people do. And please let them be.
Hmm.
They are already
And give
stressed.
people time
They're
to
already
develop
stressing about algorithm. Don't
Yeah.
give them more stress.
Yeah.
and give them time to be well informed before they can make a comment. Because
Absolutely.
if you guys saw the Zomato delivery guy incident, where on
Yeah.
day one
Yeah.
everyone shared the story of the girl's side, and the next day the entire story was that the girl was at
Slipped over. Yeah.
give people time to get informed and then they can comment if they wish to.
Yeah. And give room for nuance. It's like you're either like pro or anti, and like there's no space for like a bit of gray, which is really, I also feel is like a problem in the discourse.
But we can't fight this, Like like you gave a perfect example of the whole Zomato delivery guy thing, that whole assault situation. I just feel that's one thing that we can't change. It's just going to be there. That is one con of social media, and it is going to be there. You can't do it.
Right.
Sometimes I feel I just want to like delete my account and just like shut up and just like disappear.
Yeah. Really, man.
I think eventually I will at some point. When I'm like really done, I'm just gonna be like moved to an island and just chilling,
Khatam.
running a bar, just
Yeah.
getting drunk and like diving. That's all I'll probably be doing because
Yeah.
it's insane.
Yeah.
But honestly, this was a good chat. It's been so long. Like I was able to like speak like the truth and my real self and be myself. You guys have been like absolutely amazing. And
Thank
I'm
you
glad
so
you
much.
guys called me on this podcast. So I purposely didn't watch your past videos
Yeah,
because I didn't want to like already get an idea of, oh, how do you guys do it and how the
yeah,
flow is going to be. I just wanted to be like as real as possible.
yeah.
And I just hope that I answered your questions right. I'm also a vague speaker, so I must have gone a little off topic, but
Not at all.
that's
Not at all.
just me as a person. But I hope like I've answered majority of the questions and people get to know a lot more about like the content space and how it is and how it works in back end, and if they should pursue this as a career, and if they should or they should not, or how should they approach it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
No, but
Nikhil,
thank you so much for being so generous with your time and being so honest
yeah,
and giving viewers a real perspective about the content creation space. And yeah, thank you so much. I truly enjoyed the conversation.
yeah. I
Yes,
loved
me
it. It
too.
felt real, it felt authentic, and yeah, just like I said, just thank you for being so generous with your time. Thank you for being so forthcoming with your answers, and it's been a pleasure. It's felt like an enjoyable conversation. It's not felt like a formal podcast or anything. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad we could have this conversation, and thanks to you guys for getting me on and picking me out of like so many other creators online to do this. But I'm sure you guys will also reach out to other creators and get other perspectives of people. And I hope in some way I can help you guys with your podcast in some way. Just hit
yeah,
me up and let me know if there's someone you want on your podcast. I can help you out in whatever way I can. It's great that you guys are doing this. My girlfriend wanted to start her own podcast.
yeah,
Hopefully she does too. She doesn't
Yeah.
have time, but
yeah,
but it's great. Like she was super excited. She was like, "Yes, you're going on a podcast. It'll be fun. I'm so
yeah.
excited for you." So she's like probably will probably be the first viewer on this video. Uh, yeah, but
Yeah, man.
I'm glad you guys had me, and we'll probably connect on text after this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for having me.
Absolutely. Godspeed to her. And also, in case like she also wants to get in touch with us, if there's anything we can help with, she wants to have a conversation, what little we know, if we can help with, we're more than happy to help.
Yeah,
That's
of
really
course.
kind of you.
To our viewers, thank you so much for watching our video today. We hope you found it useful. Drop in the comment section what insight or what learning was your key learning from the video. If you like the video, drop a like, share it with your friends, with your family, with other creators. And if you do like watching podcasts, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we can catch you again on another episode.